The Peony Prince, Part 3. Her seemingly unending duties and obligations created unimaginable stress, and this, coupled with her secret obsession with the mysterious young man, eventually took its toll, and the princess soon fell ill. She could not eat or sleep, and her pallor grew ghostly pale. She grew thinner and thinner. The princess was wasting away regardless of any treatment. The attending physicians were baffled, for they could not pinpoint the reason for her progressing ailment. Naturally, the day of Princess Jianjing's marriage with the young Prince Daoro had to be postponed. If not, in the event of her demise, altogether aborted. The king Akono of Gorkon did not take this change of plan too kindly, deeming it a personal affront, or at best a ruse. The relationship between the two countries became further strained. King Kong Zuozi, her father, was both infuriated and deeply grieved by this turn of events. He set up a commission to investigate this matter further and to resolve this dreadful predicament. The thorough search finally uncovered certain facts and brought to light the peculiar events of the specific night that was at the start of Prince Jianjing's personal crisis. Princess' confidant and friend-mate Niju was detained, severely and repeatedly interrogated. In the end, she broke down, and through her confession, the king was able to uncover the source of his daughter's infirmity. The King Kongziozi's first reaction was one of extreme fury. He was not a superstitious king, so he expected the source to be an intruder. The guards on duty that night were all rounded up and severely punished. Those on duty in the garden lost their lives. The king's fury not spent, however, he next wanted to have the gardens, specifically the peony beds that had once been his deceased wife's personal project, destroyed. The pond would not be spared either, nor would any of the living creatures living in it. His closest advisers braved his wrath in the end to talk some moderation into King Kongziozi, and so the decimation was averted in the nick of time. They insisted that the Princess Jianjing was sick, and her malady was one of the heart. She had fallen deeply in love, a serious infatuation perhaps with the phantom, by then dubbed the Peony Prince, that she'd seen for so brief a span. He could be a fox spirit or other fae. They feared that Princess Jianjing would soon meet her untimely demise if something drastic was not done. Unfortunately, there was no account in the books of legend that matched the description of such a being. King Kongziozi's ancestor had exercised domain over these lands for many generations, yet the books did not speak of any tragedy or untimely demise of such a warrior prince in this castle. Clearly, this was a matter for the priests, for only they could exorcise this evil spirit that must have snuck into the garden in order to take possession of a pure soul like Princess Jianjing. If nothing was done, soon they warned His Majesty, Princess' life would be forfeited. King Kongziozi, with some skepticism, reluctantly agreed with this, and so the priests were called in to perform their exorcism at her sleeping quarters, in the garden, and around the pond. Princess Jianjing seemed a bit better after this, though she remained downcast and listless in spirit. End of Part 3.